Chanel, named and shamed for failing to pay their workers in the UK minimum wage. This is so embarrassing. Let's get to it. Chanel, oh my God, you're really pushing it. So welcome to my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. Y'all, what is this background? Are we at the Cayman Islands? Is this the Wertheimer property? Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Everything's alleged, not rooted in any truths or facts. Just my opinion, okay? So this is an AI-generated image in an interesting kind of... I was like, hey, Bubbles, generate a little huge amount of cash on the Cayman Islands for Chanel. And Bubbles came up with this. Hilarious. But no, this news, seriously, there's several news casts reporting about this. So Global Cosmetics News literally named the article, Chanel named and shamed for failing to pay minimum wage. Then the local Guardian.co.uk posted an article called Chanel failed to pay its Croydon workers minimum wage. And then we also have mylondon.com article entitled Chanel owed more than £70,000 to 250 people working at its Croydon offices. Now let me shift to the other side, or no, I can shift again here so we can put the, or no, we can, okay, fine. We can stay here. All right, let me show you how this looks like. This is the Croydon offices. Let me cue them in. So this is a photo from the reportage where the Chanel workers work. So we're going to get into the details of it. So basically, Chanel has been named and shamed by the government. It's gone that far that the UK government names and shames Chanel for not paying 250 workers minimum wage at its Croydon distribution offices. Okay, the luxury brand has a distribution center called Bourgeoise or Bourgeois House in Queensway off Purley Way in Croydon. And this is their distribution center where their workers work. The latest government data shows the company at the CR9 postcode failed to pay a total of £70,413.59 to 250 workers. It has since paid back employees the money they missed out on. Chanel was one of the 202 companies named and shamed after investigations by HMRC between 2017 and 2019. So they apparently failed to pay the total amount of minimum wage to up to 250 workers, which adds up to be over £70,000 in that period before the pandemic. Now, what is really interesting here to note is Chanel's excuse. Now, before we get to their excuse, I just want to remind y'all what went down with the Advent calendar 2 years ago now. Yeah, slowly we're going into 2 years since the shenanigans of the Advent calendar. You know, the one in biodegradable pulp that they made, and they made it cost $900, including tax, full of freebies. And then there was a huge viral video on TikTok that kind of, you know, called them out on that. And then even Bruno Pavlovsky had to apologize. And you could check out all those videos. I covered that story in depth back in the day on my channel. Those videos are still up on my channel. But what did Chanel do? Their apology back then was really the most arrogant piece of, I can't even say it here on YouTube, that I've ever seen in my life, because basically their apology was fundamentally this. Oh, we're so sorry that you're all so stupid to see how gorgeous this piece of artistry that is this biodegradable paper pulp Advent calendar for $900. So we're so sorry, we're not going to do it again, but you're dumb. You're dumb. You don't know how to appreciate true artistry. You're dumb. Sorry, boo-boo. Literally. Like, I'm paraphrasing here, but like, that's the apology. Now, fast forward to 2023. How does Chanel apologize for not having paid their workers minimum wage? What's the excuse now? So, a spokesperson for Chanel said all employees are paid above the national living wage, £10.42 an hour for those over 23. However, the company said the payments which appear to be below the minimum wage were prior to 2019, and due to the fact, listen carefully, due to the fact employees had allowed the company to make deductions from their salary at source, they said these included deductions such as discounted staff purchases and pension contributions, which Chanel had not understood as having to be taken into consideration when calculating staff hourly rates. Seriously? The company said it has reviewed and updated its approach and compensated employees for the gap. Y'all, can we just like focus on this for a second? What they're saying here is that their employees allowed them to do this. Now, obviously, if you have people working minimum wage for you at Chanel, maybe they're happy that they're working at all, that they got an opportunity, a chance. They might not know all the laws, you know? You might be tricking them into signing off on some piece of paperwork where you kind of tell them, oh, here's, this is your minimum wage, but we're going to deduct from your minimum wage pension funds, and we're going to deduct from your minimum wage whatever staff reductions you get. So basically, what they're saying here, they cut their employees' pay for buying a bag on staff sale, or a perfume during staff sales, or a brooch during staff sales. This is literally what they're saying. And on top of it, they're saying, well, the employees allowed us to do it, so we thought we could do it. Embarrassing. I really, this is like bottom level, like ratchet. You know what I mean? And then Brian Sanderson, chair of the Low Pay Commission, said the minimum wage acts as a guarantee to ensure all workers without exception receive a decent minimum standard of pay. Where employers break the law, they not only do a disservice to their staff, but also undermine fair competition between businesses. Now, regular naming rounds this is so awesome. I love that the UK does this. Regular naming rounds should be a useful tool in raising awareness of underpayment and helping to protect minimum wage workers. The government has been clear that anyone entitled to be paid the minimum wage should receive it, and that robust enforcement action will be taken against employers who do not pay their staff correctly. And another thing, Chanel, to pull this stunt and then act dumb and be all like, oh, we didn't know that actually, we're not allowed to cut minimum wage to pay for the pension funds of these people. And we didn't know that they're already paid hunger salaries. But then we're going to deduct stuff if they buy staff purchases of your luxury goods. Not only that, Chanel, but you did this for what? A little bit over £70,000. Now, for 250 workers, allegedly, right, as the article states, that's not a lot of money. It is for one individual person, mind you. We could all do a lot of nice stuff with 70 grand, for sure. But we're not talking about us here. We're talking about Chanel. What do I mean by this? Think about it. What can you buy at Chanel for 70 grand? 7 timeless classic jumbos. That's 70 grand. One haute couture outfit. That'll cut you short of round about 70 grand, depending how embellished the garment is. More or less. 70 grand can buy you maybe a total look of prêt-à-porter, like not haute couture, prêt-à-porter Chanel, pants, jacket, shirt, shoes, and a bag. Maybe costume jewelry to go. That's it. So what I'm trying to say here is you gotta be really ratchet to even want to try to pull a stunt like that. Because in that line of luxury business you are in, 70K is nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You get 70K like this when one rich person buys a full outfit, a total look from the Pret-a-Porter line. But you wanted to snatch that money away from 250 workers who are working minimum wage. Shame on you. And I think it's really good that the government, the UK government, has this structure set in place to shame companies publicly that do this, that try to pull these stunts. And still, we get this half-ass, half-baked ass apology from Chanel. Instead of just owning up to what ya did, ya basic. Instead of saying, we're so sorry, we basic. No, instead you're like, oh, we thought we could do that because the employees accepted our terms and conditions of taking their money. No words. No words. Seriously, there you go. I hope the Vadheimers can swim in their cash in the Cayman Island, their billions, you know. I hope they're happy. I hope they're happy with all their money, with the billions that they make every year. I hope, you know, I hope that their success goes forever and that they manage to make even more and more billions. The Vadheimer and their family. Congratulations to you. You should be really proud of yourselves. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Until next time, subscribe, thumb up the video. Let's see where else this travesty of a luxury world takes us next. Let's go on a journey.